So if democracy is a system that we desire because it gives us a measure of control over the conditions that shape our lives, that's why it's important to have, a free access to the ballot. I think we should consider why those values also shouldn't apply to the economy, including our very workplaces.
Right.
We spend a third of our lives at work. We derive our livelihoods from work. The decisions being made at the top of corporations often affect us more directly, intimately, immediately than decisions being made in Washington, D.C., even, or in our state houses or our state capitals. Then we tell ourselves we're not entitled to any kind of democratic voice or democratic say. And that should be strange to us. It should be strange to us that if you are a worker at Amazon or at Walmart or McDonald's, you can go and vote in an election, and I think this is right and good. You can vote in an election about our foreign policy when it comes to Russia or Iran, right? But there's nowhere where you can say, this is how I think McDonald's should work. This is how I think Amazon should work. Right. This is how I think Walmart should work. Except working through or trying to work through a political system to regulate those companies, that their bosses also have more of a say in than they do. So there's a fundamental democratic issue here. I think democratic theorists have approached this question for a lot of years, but it's not a mainstream discussion.
Right.
But I think it ought to be on a level of basic principle. And I spend a lot of a book arguing that should be the case.
I wonder if sometimes it's because of the way that it gets framed. Because what you're describing, worker co-ops do that. I mean,
exactly.
Far left people like myself, we call that socialism. Right. But I know that your mainstream politics in America will never accept something that's called socialism.
Well, I think the way you can talk about it is this is democracy. I think it's all of the same thing. If you are angry about Donald Trump because you think authoritarianism is wrong, it is wrong for somebody who is more wealthy and powerful than you are to try to dictate the conditions of your life, to sort of live beyond the bounds of the law. I think that should make you angry. I think it should make you angry too that every day at work, people are existing within functionally authoritarian situations. Where they don't have a say, that their bosses can tell them, you don't get to use the bathroom. You don't get to talk to your coworkers in a particular way. They can steal your wages. All of these things can be framed to me. Even if you've never read Marx, even if you don't consider yourself a leftist, whatever, I think there's a basic democratic intuition here that should tell us that these are real problems that we're obligated to solve as a society.
Yeah, for sure.